Hello everyone. For my semester systems project part 2, I continued studying the digestive system. This presentation focuses on how the digestive system evolved during the transition from aquatic vertebrates to terrestrial vertebrates. Rather than simply listing anatomical changes, I'll explain how environmental pressures drove these adaptations and allowed vertebrates to exploit new food sources and habitats. I'll also discuss two organisms in greater detail, one amphibian from Module 3 and one reptile from Module 4, using information from peer-reviewed scientific studies. One of the biggest challenges in vertebrate evolution was moving from water onto land. In water, food is supported by buoyancy, prey often consists of aquatic organisms, and feeding usually involves suction. Once vertebrates moved onto land, those strategies no longer worked. The digestive system had to evolve to allow animals to capture food without water, process tougher plant and animal tissues, conserve water, absorb nutrients efficiently, and support higher activity levels. Many of these adaptations began before vertebrates fully colonized terrestrial environments. The earliest members of the tetrapod lineage were lobe-finned fishes, including Porelepiforms, Osteolepiforms, and Elpistostegids. These animals were still completely aquatic, and their digestive systems resembled modern predatory fish, with sharp teeth, simple stomachs, short intestines, and jaws designed to swallow prey whole. Because they lived in aquatic environments, feeding relied heavily on suction. Water entering the mouth carried prey toward the throat. At this point, there was little need for chewing because prey was generally swallowed intact. These animals established the basic digestive anatomy that later vertebrates would modify for life on land. Tiktaalik represents one of the most important transitional fossils between fish and tetrapods. Although still aquatic, Tiktaalik lived in shallow streams and floodplains where water levels frequently changed. Because of this environment, Tiktaalik developed a flatter skull, a mobile neck, and stronger control over head movement. These changes improved its ability to capture prey in shallow environments and represent an early shift away from relying completely on suction feeding. The earliest tetrapods, including Acanthostega and Ichthyostega, still spent much of their lives in the water. However, they possessed stronger jaws and skulls that allowed them to capture prey more effectively. Although these animals could venture onto land, evidence suggests they still captured most of their prey in aquatic environments. Their digestive systems remained largely carnivorous, consisting of strong jaws with numerous sharp teeth and relatively simple digestive tracts. The environmental pressure driving these changes likely involved increasingly variable freshwater habitats during the late Devonian. Seasonal droughts and oxygen-poor waters favored animals that were capable of moving between aquatic habitats. Reptiliomorphs represent an important evolutionary step towards true terrestrial vertebrates. As these animals became more adapted to life on land, feeding mechanisms continued to improve. As animals moved onto land, they could no longer rely on water to move prey into the throat. Stronger jaws and improved tongue and throat muscles allowed more effective biting and swallowing. More efficient digestion also helped animals survive when food availability was unpredictable. Being able to digest meals more completely allowed these animals to survive longer between successful hunts. As tetrapods diversified, feeding strategies also became more specialized. Some species specialized on insects, while others hunted larger prey. The digestive system adapted alongside changes in jaw mechanics. Greater jaw strength allowed larger prey items. Improved muscular control of the tongue and throat made swallowing on land possible, and digestive organs themselves remained relatively simple, but efficiency gradually increased as terrestrial diets became more diverse. Amphibians demonstrate several digestive adaptations that support a dual aquatic and terrestrial lifestyle. Most adult amphibians are carnivores and possess sticky tongues, small teeth, expandable stomachs, and short intestines. Because animal protein is easier to digest than plant material, amphibians do not require long digestive tracts. Their digestive system works well for consuming insects, worms, and other small animals. However, amphibians remain closely tied to moist environments because dehydration can interfere with many body systems, including digestion. For my amphibian example, I selected the axolotl. Unlike most amphibians, axolotls retain aquatic larval characteristics throughout adulthood. Their digestive system remains specialized for aquatic feeding, and they use rapid suction feeding to capture worms, crustaceans, insects, and small fish. Research has shown that cranial morphology and feeding mechanics allow them to generate strong suction forces despite their relatively small size. Because they never completely transitioned to terrestrial life, they provide insight into how ancestral tetrapods may have fed before they fully adapted to the land. One peer-reviewed study examining feeding mechanics demonstrated that cranial movement and suction generation remain highly effective throughout adulthood, reflecting the retention of ancestral aquatic feeding strategies. Amniotes represent a major turning point because reproduction was no longer dependent on water. This allowed them to fully exploit terrestrial environments. Their digestive systems diversified into herbivorous, carnivorous, and omnivorous forms. Adaptations such as longer digestive tracts, stronger digestion, and improved water conservation allowed amniotes to survive in drier habitats. Reptiles display a wide range of digestive adaptations. Compared with amphibians, they generally have stronger jaws, better water conservation, and more efficient digestion. Many reptiles consume large meals followed by long periods without feeding. These adaptations allowed reptiles to occupy diverse habitats, including deserts, forests, and even aquatic environments. For my reptile example, I chose the Burmese python because it has one of the most specialized digestive systems among vertebrates. After feeding, the python undergoes major digestive changes. Stomach acid production increases, digestive enzymes become more active, intestinal cells enlarge, and nutrient absorption becomes highly efficient. Even organs such as the liver temporarily increase in size. These adaptations allow pythons to consume large prey and survive weeks or months between meals, which is beneficial because prey availability is unpredictable. As we saw in the Digit Module 3 lesson videos, vertebrates began moving onto land, which led to major changes required for feeding. Dr. Vandenbrooks explains how aquatic suction feeding was no longer effective, so stronger jaws and muscles evolved to allow biting and swallowing. Teeth became better suited for tearing, crushing, and processing food before it entered the digestive tract. Meanwhile, tongues and salivary glands helped manipulate and begin processing food before digestion even took place. These adaptations allowed vertebrates to exploit new terrestrial food sources. In Module 4, we focused more closely on certain species rather than life as a whole. As amniotes diversified, their digestive systems adapted to new environments and food sources. Due to plants and insects becoming more abundant on land, different diets evolved, including herbivory, which required new strategies for processing plant material. Plants are more difficult to digest than animal tissue, which required adaptations that allowed animals to extract nutrients from new food sources. Turtles developed specialized beaks and evolved different diets depending on habitat, while snakes developed flexible skulls and digestive systems adapted for large, infrequent meals. Some snakes also use venom containing enzymes that help break down prey tissues. Overall, reptile digestive evolution reflects adaptation to new ecological opportunities. Overall, digestive evolution occurred gradually. Early fishes relied on suction feeding, tiktaalik combined suction with biting, early tetrapods developed stronger jaws, amphibians evolved terrestrial prey capture, and amniotes developed specialized diets and digestive strategies. Each adaptation improved feeding efficiency and survival on land. The digestive system played an essential role in vertebrate evolution. Changes in feeding mechanics, digestion, and nutrient absorption allowed vertebrates to successfully colonize terrestrial environments. Environmental pressures such as changing habitats, new food sources, competition, and drought shaped these adaptations over millions of years. Thanks for listening.